Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Oh, oh,
Hello?
oh, it works. I just forgot to turn off the mic. Oh, okay, I'm getting feedback.
Oh, hello?
Oh, it works. I just forgot to turn off the mic. Oh, okay, I'm getting feedback. I just forgot to turn off the mic. Oh, okay, I'm getting feedback. Is my keyboard super loud? Damn, sorry. It's a mechanical keyboard. I actually got one that's supposed to be quieter, Cherry MX Brown. But, huh. Can I reduce the gain on the microphone? Would that help? I guess I could just not type and use my mouth hole to communicate. If for you guys joining in, this is just me trying to iron out uh, whatever like streaming technical difficulties I have, because I'm pretty new to this. In case you didn't notice. Yeah, that's I could have just said mouth. Okay, too many windows. I am confused. Do you guys want me to put on some music? I think I might get back to drawing shortly. Whoop. Okay. I need to find something that is royalty free because I've been flagged several times by YouTube for copyright infringement. So let's give this a shot. Yeah, yeah, I was just commenting on that. I usually listen to that Chilled Cow playlist, and I thought that was all royalty free, but I guess not. I guess if I do this more often, I should comb my hair, or at least get a haircut or something. Hey, is this still loud? Can you guys still hear my keyboard? Okay, let's get back to work. Okay. Let me try this. How's that? Okay. Well, let me know if my voice or the keyboard is too loud, and I'll see what I can do. Okay, and the angle is gonna get real weird here as I move my Cintiq. You guys can stare at my nose or something. Yeah, my goal tonight is to actually finish inking this page. It's kind of a later night than I'd like, but I had to take my dog to the vet today. If you guys have any questions, let me know and I'll try to answer them. The new thing I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to ink with a pencil brush. I don't know if you can see here. Normally I use, I'm using Clip Studio. Oh, I have a cardigan Welsh Corgi. It's just a checkup, he's totally fine. Actually, he is a little overweight. He was overweight last year, and we were supposed to reduce his weight by, I think, 5 pounds, but instead he gained 7 pounds this year, so he's definitely a bit of a fat boy. Yeah, it's the holidays. I think we all kind of packed on a few pounds. Yeah, you gotta live once, right? So are you guys all artists too? Ah, that's cool. I appreciate you reading the comic. Oh, cool. Yeah, you know, I haven't really updated my YouTube channel in a year, and I popped in the other day, and I was like, oh, I think I have 400 subscribers. I mean, that's not a lot, but I figure, well, this is maybe the start of something, because I don't really write my little like author's notes at the end of every episode anymore, and I kind of miss talking to you guys. So this year, one of my resolutions was to try to find some way to communicate with everybody a little bit better, and I'm hoping maybe YouTube could be a way. Oh, thanks, Archmage. But I guess, I'm really new to this, but I can see the potential of this already because before it was just sort of a one-way communication where I would type whatever was on my mind and then you guys can read it, but I couldn't really talk to you guys. And this is, I never really did much of this because I don't really like being in front of the camera, and I thought it'd be a lot of work, but this isn't as bad as I thought. So I'm gonna try to do these more often. I don't have a schedule for it yet, but I'll see what I can do. I guess if you guys watch these, you're getting like a bit of a spoiler, because this is probably several months ahead from where you're currently at in the story. Hey, here's a question for you guys. Well, I guess first, are you guys still in school? Are you guys? I've just made the assumption that maybe you guys are in high school or teenagers, but I mean, I don't know, right? You could be adults with a family. But okay. So I'm kind of an old fogey in comparison. So webtoon, I mean this like vertical web comics is actually I never even heard of this before I started Oscar Zahn. Yeah. Oh really? Okay, wow. Okay, so my assumptions are totally wrong. I've always assumed that webtoons is most of its readers are really young, but I mean, you guys are this is actually quite enlightening. So, is that how you guys consume comics, through webtoons, or do you guys also go into comic stores and buy like a traditional paper issue? Okay. So did you read comics, what am I trying to say here? Did you get into comics through web comics, or did you still start with like your more traditional Spider-Man comics, Superman? Oh yeah, I should point out that Alfred Chan, he's actually an old friend of mine, and he helps me out with Oscar stuff when he has time. Interesting. Yeah, I guess that doesn't surprise me because it seems people are finding their entryway into comics through, I mean, I guess the internet now. Oh, wow. That's really interesting. I don't know any dog that would have ever turned down a good pet. Did you guys watch Spider-Verse? Oh, it's super good. Oh, that's sweet. I think you'll love it. I don't really know anybody that... Actually, no. I am wrong. I know one person who was not the biggest fan of it. I think he thought it was okay, but he also works in the comic industry, so maybe his expectations were super high, or... But I don't know, yeah, I thought it was incredible. I think even if you're not a superhero fan, and I mean, to be honest, I don't really read too much superhero comics these days, but the visuals is just insane. I don't know about this face. It's I'm trying to get like a expression of shock and horror, but also I want it to be funny. I don't know. Is it working? What comics did you start out reading? I'm trying to think. The very first comic I can remember. Okay, the very first comic I remember was actually one I couldn't read because it was in Chinese. I was in Hong Kong, and it was an Ultraman comic, and I still remember it really vividly, actually. I mean, I don't know, I don't even know how to track it down, but the art was like seared into my young brain. The actual very first comic I remember reading, it was definitely something from either Marvel or DC. And it was something that I think my dad picked up for me from like the spinner rack in a convenience store. I don't know. I have no idea what comic that was. Whatever that one that I read, actually, I guess didn't leave the same impression as that Ultraman comic that I couldn't read. How about you guys? What was your first comic? Oh, in case you don't know, Ultraman is a Japanese. You know, I don't even really know that much about Ultraman lore. As far as I remember, Ultraman's a Japanese superhero that fights giant space monsters, and he's an alien. I don't think he's a robot, but he can grow really big, and I think maybe his power comes from some kind of gem. Yeah, that's totally true. Oh, I remember those, Alfred. I think those are some of my early ones too. I completely forgot that even existed. That's the one with like like it's the old man, and he had like a Chinese outfit with like two circles on his chest. Is that right? And he had a buddy that looked like a potato, and then another taller, skinnier buddy. Oh, Dave. Hey, Dave, thanks a lot. So this is also a surprise. Dave is also another old friend who just moved to Korea. How's life going over there? I'm sorry I couldn't make it to your going away party, by the way. I think I was out of the country at the time. It's a whole party! Francis! Yeah, I don't know what did I do. Somebody from chat told me what to do. I think I turned off my YouTube channel. Oh, the one with all your New Zealand videos? That sounds like a lot of work to watch my my little stream. I appreciate it. Well, thanks for checking out the channel. So, how many people are here, anyways? I can't tell. Let me look up my YouTube stream. Well, 6. This is the highest simultaneous viewer count I've ever had. Half of them are people that I know in real life. Yeah, today 6, tomorrow 7. Guys, yesterday the most amazing thing happened to me. I got 4 kills in one PUBG game. Boko. I don't think I've ever heard of that one. What's that one about? Kind of spoilers. Yeah, sorta. Yeah, so I guess this is a fairly... I mean, I don't know if... I guess we know that Oscar's a skull, so I think that's okay. Nothing too major on this page. That's a good point. I should probably be conscientious of what pages I stream in case I spoil major plot points. Maybe I should put my webcam somewhere else. This Cintiq is not great at mounting. There, perfect. Oh, I think I ruined it. Oh, that sounds pretty sweet. So is it kind of like Berserk? Is it fantasy? Like a dark fantasy? I have to keep an eye out for that. Oh, interesting. So it's set in Japan then? Oh, cool. Boko. Okay, I'm gonna make a note of that. So since we're talking about cool stories, one comic that I would recommend to anybody is a baseball comic, actually, called Cross Game. I don't even like baseball. I don't even think I could tell you how, like, I mean, I know basically how baseball works, but I don't really know the rules. But this baseball comic might be my favorite thing ever. Yeah, I know, right? Like, the only sport I watch is the UFC. But I have a soft spot for sports comics and sports movies. I'm not really sure why. I mean, I guess it's like it's relatable because it's usually the story of, you know, plucky underdog team kind of getting it together and overcoming seemingly impossible odds. I can't get her hair right. Maybe I shouldn't leave. Maybe I shouldn't draw hair on her. Yeah, that's basically exactly it. And who doesn't love that? Is that the one where, like when somebody cooks something and then somebody eats it, it's, I don't know. I mean, we're all adults. It's like, it's very sexual. Like, they play it up like it's, that's the one. I think I've seen clips of it in YouTube, on YouTube, yeah. Oh, the Japanese. I love it. That's the, yeah, I think I only seen it, the clips as an anime. I've never actually seen it as a comic. So does it actually teach you how to cook? Oh, you know what? I better shut the door so I don't wake up my fiance. There's actually a really good, actually one of my favorite shows on Netflix is a Japanese drama called, I think Alfred might know this, I think he recommended this to me. Is it called Midnight Diner? Yeah, I think it's called Midnight Diner. Tokyo Diner. But that one actually, I think it actually has a little segment at the end where it gives you like a little recipe for the dish that was kind of pivotal to that episode. Another wacky Japanese thing that I'm really enjoying right now is Yakuza 0. Playing that on the PC. It's fantastic. I'm not sure whether I should render like kind of render like some kind of under lighting on her. Maybe I'll try that another layer. Yakuza? It's a brawler. I don't know, have you heard of an old Sega game called Shenmue? It's kinda like that. Describing it doesn't really do it justice because it's a brawler and it's got a pretty like overwrought like crime story, but it's also like just like super wacky. Like there's like crazy karaoke games, like really bizarre side quests. It's I would highly recommend looking up like a trailer for one of the Yakuza games. There's like at least six of them so far, not including the side games, and they're just super bonkers. Yakuza. That's it's yeah. Although I think its Japanese title is way cooler. It's Ryuga Gotoku, which means like a dragon. Kind of wish they kept that name instead. Yeah. You know what? I don't think this rendering is working out. I may talk to Irma, my colorist, and trust her to kind of bring this panel to life. Yakuza 0 is actually on PC, so if you have, I mean, it's a pretty light game. I mean, if you have a kind of modern video card, you should be able to play it. Oh, thanks for stopping by, Archmage. Appreciate it. I really actually do appreciate it. I thought I would just be just testing out the sound and other technical stuff, but here I am, basking in my 6 viewers. I'll try to do these more often. Thanks, I really appreciate it. I'll talk to you again, I'm sure. So how's life in Korea, Dave? So, you're working over there, right? Like, you're working, I mean, I guess, are you working, what am I trying to say? Is this primarily like a travel year, or did you take a job there? Oh, damn, that sounds awesome. Oh, also, I forgot. Congratulations on your engagement. I can't believe I didn't remember until now. Nice. Damn, you're just gonna do all of Asia. I mean, why not? Why not see everything there? That's fantastic. That sounds fantastic. Are you guys staying in Seoul? I saw the pictures you put up. Oh, Nina and Tom are there too. I don't know if you're going to see them before they leave, but tell them I said hi. can you still get there by their subway station? I was in Korea 6 years ago, and the plan was to actually leave Seoul and kind of travel, see the countryside a little bit. But I actually just ended up staying in Seoul because the transit system is amazing, and the city's so vast. Nice. Yeah, it reminded me of, no, for sure it was bigger than Hong Kong, right? Yeah, I just remember just looking at that map and not being able to make sense of it for the first week. Oh, nice. So is this still pretty dense where you're at? Like, what's the Korean definition of a suburb? Is it like I can't imagine it would be, but is it anything like this, like a Canadian suburb like Mississauga, or is it still super dense? Oh man, that sounds great. How about like the work-life balance? Is it the same, or is it a lot more hectic in Korea? Hmm. But I guess for Jen, it's because she's expat. Is that the right term? Okay. Oh, that's good. Yeah, my friend was teaching in Korea, and when he was teaching English, he said that life was actually pretty fun for him. But once he started working for a Korean video game company, and because he's part Korean himself, I guess he was more integrated into Korean culture. He said that the expectations from him totally switched, and his work hours were insane. I guess they just don't expect Westerners to have the I don't know what a same work ethic. That sounds bad. Like same, put up with the same pressures. Hey, do you find everybody there super trendy? Excuse me, just burped. Holy smokes. I think Toronto's 3 million. I'm not sure if that's right. So there was when I was traveling in Seoul, I just wore like jogging pants and runners and a hoodie, and I felt really self-conscious after a while because everybody was always had like fancy hair and they're always done up, trendy jeans. But then I went to this one train subway station, and the people there were like, "Oh, people here are kind of dressed sort of normal. They were dressed kind of like me." And then, but I was with my friend who lives there, and I pointed that out to him. He said, "Oh, that's because those people are homeless." So, so even I mean, even the homeless were better dressed than I was. Yeah, I noticed that too. Like everybody was stylish, but it's all the same style. I mean, I'm totally generalizing. This is just based on like the 2 weeks I was there, so. Hmm. I wonder if it's because they're just... No, Shiba Inus are Japanese, right? Oh, so maybe it's just like the Shiba Inus are in trend right now. When I was in Hong Kong, I noticed it was popular to have huskies. But it must have been so hard for those dogs because Hong Kong is so hot. Yeah, I was actually talking to... Yeah, I mean, like everything I say is it's sort of based out of ignorance because I just don't know. They're just sort of from observations, incomplete observations. But I was speaking with I don't know what the title would be. My fiance's sister-in-law. Anyway, she's from Hong Kong and she loves dogs. But she says that they actually don't know how to take care of them properly there because it's a different culture. Like we in Canada, we almost, I mean, I treat my dog like a person, and I know it's a kind of ridiculous. Like I talk to him, he's a person. I know he's not understanding most of what I'm saying, but it sort of amuses us to pretend like they're little people. I don't know if they have quite the same attitude towards animals over there, but I mean, I could be wrong. Oh, actually, I don't even know what a Jindo is. Fern will be happy to hear that. This is such a hard pose. Oh boy. I don't think I did enough. Yeah, this bloopy leg is man, I don't even know what's going on there. I think I have to get back and figure out this drawing. Yeah, thanks. I mean, I liked it too when I laid down the gesture, but now it's like, what is? I think I really, yeah, I got to redo this whole part. Yeah, it's this butt area that doesn't seem right. I was hoping to finish this page by midnight, but I don't think it's gonna happen. And now I'm stuck on a hard drawing. Hey Dave, do you play PUBG? Oh, thanks, Scary Healer. Appreciate that. And thanks for joining the stream. Ooh, seven viewers now. This is a record for me. Oh, should I go wake her? I should wake her up now and tell her. Digby's site? Does Digby have a website? She did make like actually she for a joke she made oh yeah, tell her I said hi too. Oh, thanks, Gary Healer. I'm testing out this YouTube thing, this newfangled YouTube thing that seems to be all the rage now. Oh yeah, her Instagram, yeah. I always anyways, yeah, for the YouTube thing, I always thought maybe I should try doing it, but it seemed kind of intimidating, and I don't really like being on camera, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. I haven't pooped my pants yet. Oh yeah, Dave, yeah, tell Jen I said hi too. Sweet, I'd love to see it. Unless I've seen it already? Do you have Instagram? Usually, I think the easiest way is if you post it, if you have Instagram and you post it there and tag me, I'll notice it and then I can repost your post. So if you follow, my Instagram is, man, I'm the worst at this. Let me look it up. I think it's at Vuong. Oh, thanks, Dave. Yeah, I really should. So here's the deal with Comic-Con. Are you speaking about the specific one in San Diego? Anyways, it doesn't matter. I was pretty good at going to the cons I could go to. Like I went to Fan Expo and that other one in Toronto, but I never had anything to sell. And And I guess I should still keep on going just to spread the word of the comic. But people kept on asking me, "Oh, well, cool. This looks pretty neat. You know, can I buy a book?" And I just stare blankly at them because I had like nothing to sell them other than like a poster or something. So my goal for myself was to just get the like do a Kickstarter and actually bring a book to sell. But that still hasn't happened yet. My Kickstarter has been half finished for the last 6 months, and my New Year's resolution is to get that done. Yeah, I mean, I could do that. Yeah, this year I will for sure attend more conventions. So one thing I'm learning is that promote like making a comic is only half the job. The other half is promoting your comic, and that's the part I am terrible at. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I'm So the goal with the Kickstarter is that as soon as I wrap up this current storyline, which actually won't be long now because I'm quite far ahead, is to turn my energies to the Kickstarter. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'll send you some prints. Oh, that'd be great too. It'll be like an underground movement. That's awesome. I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, it took a while to, like, I don't know, if you're not aware, it took, Oscarzon was on hiatus for a while, and it took actually quite a bit of effort to get the comic going again. So that was like my main focus last year, 2018. This year, everything seems to be going pretty well, no problems yet. So I can focus on getting the comic out there and actually making some other stories that's non-Oscarzon related. Oh, cool. He can be Oscarzon East. You can be Oscarzon West. Yeah. Oh, thanks, dude. I'm glad you like it. It was a learning experience for me because before I would just make the comic and release it as it went out, and I could almost get instantaneous feedback. But this time around, I had to do so much of it just in a vacuum, so I had no idea whether the story was working. So I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying it. Oh. I think my mic is dying. If I cut out, it's because my mic's dead, but I will I'm probably going to stop the stream in 15 minutes and call it a night. Oh, cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Ah, geez. When was the con in New Orleans? I'm Toronto based, so I don't know if you're ever actually in our neck of the woods. If you are, I'd love to say hi. Is con season in September for you guys as well? Oh, it just happened. Okay. Yeah, I guess they spread it out. Otherwise, all the big shows are. I mean, nobody would attend them because they're all happening at the same time. Toronto? Toronto's in Canada. Oh. Okay. I think there's some cross wires here. And I've just realized I don't know how to draw crotches. I don't think I've ever drawn this angle of a person before. Nice. Where did the idea for the comic come from? My fiance actually asked me that question today, and I gave a long, rambly answer. So I'm going to try to be more concise. I think it came about by accident. I was working when I was in animation. I was actually working on another comic idea with a coworker, and that idea fell through, but there was this funny like side skeleton character that I liked, and I didn't plan to do anything with him. I just decided to draw a page. No, it wasn't an acid trip. I guess maybe it is kind of weird. The whole thing came out in a really weird way because I didn't plan to do anything with him. When I first came up with the comic, there was no idea. I just drew one page, and then I drew another page, and I drew a third page, and the character and the world kind of slowly came together with every page that I put up. So in the very first story, with the one with the baby in the house, I didn't plan for it to be that way. I just said, okay, I'm gonna draw something with a woman in the woods, and then this creepy skeleton man shows up, and it just kind of went from there. And it wasn't until like 10, 15 pages in that I was like, oh, I have a character here. So every page I was just sort of making up another part of the character. It wasn't until I finished that first story that I went back and actually kind of rewrote like a backstory and plan out like a longer storyline. So I guess that was kind of a rambling answer too. And I guess maybe all stories are like this, but I think, and I didn't know this when I was making the comic, but I think Oscar Zahn came from sort of things that I worry about, like maybe unreasonably so, like at late at night you should be sleeping, and I start worried about, I don't know, dying. Well, some weird thoughts that you get in the middle of the night, and I guess they just sort of expressed itself in the comic, and I wasn't even really aware of it until afterwards. Oh, thanks. That's actually good to hear. In the beginning, I really had no idea what I was doing, because Oscar Zahn's my first comic, and I kind of had to learn how to make comics on the job. Learn how to make comics while I was making a comic. Thanks. I'm still learning. I mean, I guess we all never really stop learning, but storytelling is kind of a tricky thing because you can read a lot of books on it. You can learn how stories work. Like, I was surprised to find that there's actually like structure to story. Oh yeah. Yeah, I love it too. I mean, I'm sure you could. I don't. You could probably tell that like I'm a fan of Mike Mignola. The early stories were a lot more Mignola-esque. But I would like to dabble with other genres too one day. Thanks, man. Glad it works. I guess I should ask: are you like an artist as well, or a writer, or an aspiring artist, or you just enjoy comics and stories? Oh, actually, if you email me something, that's probably the surest way for it to be kind of buried with a bunch of other junk. I'm trying to keep the email just sort of business related because there's a lot of stuff that kind of gets lost in there. Really, probably the best way, and is through Instagram. I'll post my Instagram link onto this chat. Yeah, so I'd love to see your fan art. And then I can sort of repost it from within Instagram as well. I checked my email the other day, and I think the the unread email count is in the thousands. I mean, most of it is just spam, but who knows what else is buried in there. Yeah, that'd be a cool idea. Yeah, what's the most popular T-shirt service? I guess Threadless. Is that still big these days? Cool. I look forward to seeing it. I'm still trying to figure out. Actually, today was just me trying to iron out all the technical kinks. I don't have a schedule yet, so I'm hesitant to say for sure when I'll next stream. Probably I'm gonna do this for the next week or two and see what time works best for me, and then maybe after a couple of weeks I can actually decide on a time. The problem is I do most of my work at my studio, and my studio mates would kill me if I talk through my stream the entire day. So maybe I need to do it at night at home. Custom Ink. That's the name of the t-shirt company, right? Cool. I mean, I will probably stream at the studio. I'll probably stream pretty often in the next couple of weeks, but I may not always have a mic. But if you're here and you send me a message, I'll try to type a response back. I definitely appreciate it. Oof, it's 12:30. I don't think I'm gonna make any progress with this pose. I'm hoping I'm gonna call it a night, and maybe this drawing will be easier in the morning. Well, thanks for coming by, and I'll see you next time. Night all.